eat this, but I need this for lunch. I've never meal prepped before, and I'm really interested to see if it is as difficult as some people make it out to be, or as easy as some YouTubers out there show me. Editing down a video can really warp your perception of how long things really take, and these meal prep men and women are like super confident all the time. As for meal prep, well, if you never meal prepped like I've never meal prepped, let's see how this all goes.
Before I start filming and cooking, I did two things to help me out a bit. I am drying out the turkey with a paper towel and also putting it in the fridge for an hour because I hope the drier meat will allow it to brown up when cooked. I'm making rice in the Instapot, which I've never done, but I'm following Helen Rennie's Instapot rice video because she talks about making different amounts, and I've never cooked this much rice before. I'll link to the video below. I'm rinsing the rice thoroughly and using 1.5 cups rice and 1.5 cups water and setting it to the rice setting, which is 12 minutes. Then I just let it cool down naturally without venting. Now, just so you know, I'm gonna be doing my best to keep all my mistakes in so you don't make them, and at the end of the video, share with you what I learned. I take out 3 pounds of turkey from the fridge and put it in a large bowl and sprinkle 1 tablespoon of salt and add whatever spice I want. You can go with anything really: garlic, onion, paprika, curry, or chili powder. I have some Ras Al Hanout, which is great, but I'm gonna start with this tandoori spice and some trusty garlic and onion powder. I'll mix the meat to incorporate the salt and spices and set it aside, and then wash my hands obsessively. Now to prep the vegetables. I bought 2 green peppers for this, and I found this leftover yellow one, which I think meal prep is a great way to clear out the fridge, but also, as I'm starting, I keep forgetting how much food I'll need to make 5 meals, so adding a bit more helps considering all these veggies cook down. You know, I decided to try meal prep because I wanted to start eating healthier, but also because I want to make sure I have lunch when I'm at work. I work full time now, and sometimes I skip lunch, which only makes me snack or eat junk food at work or snacking later at night. So I am hoping this will help me eat properly and start me on the right track to better eating habits. And if you're also on the same path, please consider letting me know in the comments section any tips or tricks that you might have. And of course, if you want, please hit that subscribe button. Once I'm done the peppers, I'm peeling, slicing, and chopping the onions. It's late at night, and it was a long week, and I'm feeling my onion cutting skills are not up to par. I'm just trying to get it done quickly, and I'm crying from the onions, which hasn't happened in a long time. Do they become tears of joy at a job well done? We'll soon find out. I added all the veggies to a bowl that, in hindsight, I wish was a bit bigger. For aromatics I'm adding to the turkey, I chop up 2 cloves of garlic, and I spoon to peel the skin and chop 2 slices of ginger and mince that up as well. And even though that bowl of veggies looks like it's overflowing, I decided to add some carrots. Not only will it bulk up my lunches, which is important so I feel full, but the added orange to the green and yellow will make it look good. Remember that saying we eat with our eyes? Well, if this looks good, it'll be good, right? Okay, let's cook everything. So I have a stainless steel pan and a larger non-stick pan that can hold much more food, but I'm going to start with the stainless steel pan. My thinking at this moment is that I want to try to get some nice color and flavor with the Maillard reaction for the meat and caramelization on the veggies. I heat up the pan for a minute and then add some ghee and then put in half the chopped garlic and ginger to saute that for 30 seconds. Just make sure not to burn that. Now that I'm adding in half or 1.5 pounds of turkey, and I'll let that cook for 2-3 minutes without touching it. Then toss in the rest of the garlic and ginger and mix it up. I'm noticing the meat isn't browning as much as I thought, so I'm adding some paprika for some flavor and color. You can season it with another round of spices here if you like, just go easy. Heavy is the hand that can ruin your lunch. Now I'm cooking the turkey until I see most, if not all, the pink going away. Don't worry if it's not 100% cooked, but at least 98% of the way there. 2 things are working in my favor. 1, carryover heat, which means the food will continue to cook once I've taken it off the stove. And 2, I'm going to be microwaving this for lunch. So with that in mind, I'm confident I won't be eating any raw meat. I just want to make sure I don't overcook it, since turkey can dry out really easily. I then cook the rest of the turkey in the pan and then set it aside. I add pretty much all the onions. I saute these for a few minutes and then add some salt, and then I realized that this is going to take me a really long time. It's a lot of onions, and getting those down all the way could easily take another 30 or 40 minutes. So here I am getting the second pan going, and adding the peppers and carrots to that. I thought filming on one pan was a good idea, but I'm trying to meal prep here, folks. And those veggies take their time too because there is just so much food in the pan. I end up cooking the onions down for another 15 minutes and the peppers for about the same amount of time, making them soft, and the carrots were a little al dente, which I like. But keep an eye on them. I guess I could cook them on a higher heat, but I just don't want to set off any smoke alarms. I set aside the veggies, and I have to say, they do look good. Okay, meat's done, veggies done. Because I got 3 pounds or 48 ounces, I measure out a little over 9 ounces of turkey. But as I'm plating the meat, I realize I miscalculated and I just have to readjust it by eyeballing it. I got these Bentgo boxes on Amazon for $12 for 10 that are machine washable and microwavable. I don't think it's worth my time measuring out every ingredient, so I'm going to eyeball adding the veggies until these containers look about even. Afterwards, I sprinkle on some sesame seeds because I had some. And I'm going to admit, I did forget to add the rice, which I'm doing now. And I think adding the veggies on top would have been better because the rice did come out perfectly fine, but a little al dente. Again, not a huge problem since I'm going to be sprinkling a little water on the rice before I microwave it to fluff it up. So now I just have to let it cool down. I heard if you don't let them cool first, you could just trap in the steam and make your food soggy. So I wait and then add the tops and pop them into the fridge. And I think fridge space might be an issue moving forward. I would definitely say that this was much easier than I thought, but here's what I learned.
First off, I thought I could cook everything in a stainless steel pan, but realized well into it that that would take too long. So it's clear you can cook a couple of things in 2 pans at the same time. Secondly, and I think that this is my biggest takeaway, putting a lot of food in a pan drops the heat significantly. So I was trying really hard to brown my turkey, but it wasn't gonna happen for me. And I'm sure if I gave it more time, it would have worked, but I was also working with a 93-7 mix and I didn't want to dry it out. I heard baking soda can help brown meat, but I didn't want to use it on ground meat, and maybe that's something I'll use on sliced beef. Something to consider next time. So this all took me about 1:15 hours, maybe 1:30 hours, but I was filming and I could probably cut that down to 45 minutes, maybe more with 2 pans. And silly me, I had pre-made the rice ahead of time and almost forgot to add it to complete the meal. But if you're making rice or potatoes ahead of time, and that might help with your meal prep. I have to say that keeping it really simple with ground turkey was a good first step. Not overthinking the sides and not worrying about if I'm measuring it out perfectly when I'm portioning it. I also need to remember that 48 ounces is pre-cook weight, so I had to readjust my portions for the meat. I did want to make sure I did get enough to eat for lunch, and I did make some effort. And as my wife always tells me that there's this Russian saying, I tried to make it better, but it turned out like always. So I wasn't too concerned about getting it perfect. And I think it was Josh Cordes, a meal prep YouTuber, who said that if you're doing it to get your macronutrients, it all adds up at the end of the week anyway, so don't worry about it too much. And finally, it's late, and after a long weekend with 3 small children, I have to say that I feel pretty good about how this all went down in real time. You gotta decide what works for you, but as for me, I'm excited to try this again next week. So thanks for watching. I'll post an update sometime in the future to see how this all goes, and I'll see you in the next one.